On some level, I think all of us have the tendency to assume that other people think the way we do or have similar intentions as we do. And this way of thinking has to be true with narcissistic people too. I think this natural mental construct on both sides permeates and dictates most of our interactions from the moment our very different worlds collide, creating this massive web of self-perpetuating deception. So if you have people like the wolf who are natural-born war mongers, like I like to say, wouldn't it make sense that those types of personalities think that everyone else is also consumed just like them, with thoughts of winning, thoughts of finding ways to take as much as possible? I say this because stories after stories shows they always seem to have a rather fantastic ability to angle themselves to take, run, and win no matter the cost, sort of speak. Steal, cheat, bite, and kick before the opponent, i.e. victim, gets to them first, seem to be their motto, in the way I see it. Such a mindset does require vigilance, being on guard, and ready to self-protect against any sort of potential attack. I now think this is possibly why the wolf in my life never said much about himself, his opinions, or his preferences, unless he mirrored mine, my own opinions and stuff like that. Silence was a weapon just as much as it most probably was used also as a self-preserving technique. This leads me to now wonder if narcs' crazy behaviors and talking could potentially also serve in this double capacity and not solely used just to confuse and hurt victims like we all tend to think. Either way, it is sure that those human predators practice the art of being unpredictable in everything they do by bombarding their victims with constant mixed signals, leaving the victim feeling plagued with constant uncertainty, self-doubt, and a feeling of living in limbo, which in the long term diminishes the victim's ability to feel confident enough to make good decisions for themselves, even when it really comes to actually saving their own lives. The best way I can explain what I'm trying to explain here is to provide myself as an example here. You see, somebody like me I spend my time being predictable. I thrive on predictability. For example, having a routine in my life is extremely crucial because that's what gives me strength, motivation, and the stability I need to take on the day in the most efficient way I can. In my book, being a creature of habit is far from being a hindrance. Instead, I use my routine as a base to build and incorporate new things or fix things in my life. And it also helps me to figure out very quickly what works and what doesn't, so that I can improve myself and move on from my own mistakes. And over the years, I have always gone to great lengths to communicate this to other people in my life, not with the intention to impose myself, but rather it's been my way to help avoid misunderstanding and really smooth things and encourage some kind of synergy or harmony or a way of working together in a very smooth kind of way, which is all good. But now, thanks to the wolf, I understand that what I've been doing is very much the equivalent of exposing my soft underbelly to anyone who has predatory instincts. You see, once upon a time, I thought that adversity or enemies could only come from the outside. And it's been a sad state of affairs for me since learning about narcissism to realize that even within one's own family, there is wisdom into not revealing all of one's thoughts and intentions. I must admit, I will still struggle with this one for a while yet, because even with other people, when I meet other people or when I engage with other people, because I must admit, I am completely plagued with the need to be understood. So in the end, I think a lot of us not only attract, but we also make matters worse for ourselves, because we tend to be unaware of the value of some of our own character traits. We underestimate and dismiss beautiful traits within us, and yet we expose them to everyone and anyone, never suspecting that by exposing even something as simple as a routine, for example, makes us extremely vulnerable to dirty, underhanded attacks, revenge tactics, and even by friends and family members. And again, I have to say, it's a rather hard, very hard lesson for me to be forced to learn. Whereas people like the wolf, they know instinctively that whoever knows you best can hurt you the most. So maybe narcs, after all, are wise, much wiser in their attitude to always make sure that no one can suss them out or figure them out too quickly, because obviously we all know they don't want anyone to get in their way or put them in a disadvantageous situation or even have the opportunity to take advantage of them. Trust me, it always pains me to have to give those human predators any bonus points for their Machiavellian ways. But the truth is, they are so good at hiding in our midst that I don't see another way for me to operate in the world as I am moving forward. Studying and copying them does seem to be the best way to possibly protect oneself in the future. Let me know what you think and if you disagree.